Baltimore Ravens. What's the storylines on the East Coast? I mean, how are you feeling about this game?
Well,
Well,
I personally, well, you know, Belichick, we don't. There's very little love for Belichick. He's the evil empire. Because
watch your
the
mouth.
Boston Red Sox. But you know what I'm saying? That's how we feel. But I personally, I like Tom Brady. I can't. You can't feel nothing but respect for the man. He does things the right way. Plus Darrell Revis is coming back. We had love for him when he was here with the Jets. It's going to be a good game. We feel. I mean, I feel it's going to be a good game. Then of course you got Andrew Luck. He's going to be doing his thing. I hope the Patriots win. I want to see the Patriots win. I really do. But you never know because, of course, the Colts, they're probably stinging from that last loss that they had. But like I said, the Patriots, they are really doing well, ever since Belichick said on to Cincinnati,
We're on to Cincinnati.
They've been rolling. They've been rolling. And ever since, people were trying to, leave Tom Brady on the side of the road for dead, he's been showing them that, you know what, I'm good, he's been showing them. He's really been showing them. He didn't do no talking. He just went out there and played. And Gronkowski is healthy, so I'm looking for a good game, and I do hope they win. Even though I like Andrew Luck. I'm kind of torn, but that beard, oh my God, somebody take it to a barbershop real quick.
All right, we'll get to that game in a second between Andrew Luck and Peyton Manning. Aaron, who do you got in the Baltimore New England game?
Did we want to do the college
Peyton
one
Manning,
too?
We'll do college afterwards.
Okay. Well, Joe Flacco has all the personality of a pen, but he does play well in the playoffs. But I still very much dislike the Ravens, so I'm taking New England.
All right, Brent.
I've got New England. I do think it's gonna be a good game, I'm really not worried about Flacco's 5-0. His last five games basically.
Mm-hmm.
I know he does well in the postseason, but I don't know. I see Patriots taking this one, and I think that they're going to probably beat them by about 10. I know you're worried about this game because you hate the Ravens when they play you guys, but
yeah. 2 out of the last 3 times the Baltimore Ravens have beaten New England in New England. In New England, and the last, I think it's like decade, New England with home field advantage, they won 90+% of their games, in the playoffs at home, and the only team that's really seemed to have their number, T-Sizzle and the Baltimore Ravens.
But see, in the regular season, you lose. It's like, okay, there's still a good chance I'm going to get you in the last 2 weeks of the season. In games like this, there is no next game. It's win or go home. And when you're putting that on the line and you're putting Brady across the field for me, I mean, Matt Ware almost kind of said it like today when you're playing against Brady, you can't make mistakes, and not even one. So Baltimore is going to have to be on point, on top of every minute, because you're damn sure Brady knows that it's win or go home, and that's what he does. So that's why I've got the Pates on this one.
No one's ever called them the Pates.
The Pates, the Pats. Obviously, I've got New England, but yeah, this is. I'm worried about every game in the playoffs whenever the Patriots play, but this one in particular because this isn't a team that they've been able to handle in the past. They won last year based off of a missed field goal and a dropped touchdown. So I mean, these are 2 teams that know each other extremely well. And it's going to be a close game. I don't think it's going to be a blowout either way. But I do like the fact, and I said this on No Limits Radio show before our show, Rob Gronkowski and LeGarrette Blount are 2 key players that were not available in any game in the last 3 playoff games against the Baltimore Ravens. I don't think the linebacking core for the Ravens is built to cover Rob Gronkowski,
I
who
agree
is
with that.
undoubtedly the number one tight end in the NFL, hands down. He is the biggest weapon, literally, that any team could have. And I'm not just saying as a Patriots fan, the guy's like 7'2", 900 pounds, and he runs like a 4'4", 40. So, and he's got hands of glue. So,
You gonna take him out on a date?
I tried. He turned me down, dude.
Well, I just think if they try and play cover, then Blunt's just gonna bull him over. So I think he adds that aspect of the run game that they didn't really have before.
Wow, yeah.
So I think those two things are what's going to win it.
And I like the fact that they rested Edelman, Blount, and Gronkowski for the last
LaFell
regular season game, and LaFell. Yeah, let's not forget about Brandon LaFell. He went from being an okay receiver in Carolina to pretty much being the number one threat for New England down the field. So it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, I don't think the Ravens secondary is really that good.
No, it's not. Really not with Ed Reed retiring or going to the Texans and retiring last year.
The key matchup isn't the Patriots offense against the Baltimore Ravens defense. It's the Ravens offense against the Patriots defense, where you've got Smith Sr. and
Torrey Smith,
going against Darrelle Revis and Brandon Browner, who's undoubtedly one of the biggest corners in the league and one of the hardest hitting, but he's not as fast, which is why I think they're going to put Revis on.
Well, Smith is fast.
Well, yeah, no. I'm talking about the corners for New England. Revis, I think, can handle Steve Smith.
Yes, I do too.
And I think I think the matchup for Browner would be with Torrey Smith, right?
Yeah.
Because he's not the shifty receiver.
He's just a
down throw, which I think Browner can hang with. But at the same time, Browner can also come up and run support for that running game, because we're also forgetting about the Ravens running game.
Well,
yeah,
I'm not scared of
their Forsett is a good runner.
Mm-hmm.
He is good. I remember. I mean, the game I covered with the Titans. I mean, of course the Titans aren't very good, but I mean, if the Patriots defense allows the Ravens running game to get going, and usually in a cold day, the running game can get. If you allow it to get going, Forsett can hurt you. So they definitely don't want to hurt that. And people forget, Flacco throws a great deep ball.
Yeah, he does.
He does. And if he's, and not to Reba's side, but if, Torrey Smith, he catches very well, and Torrey Smith can catch. And if he can get beyond Browner, is his name Browner?
Yeah, Brandon Browner.
Him, Flacco can find him, because Flacco has no problem throwing deep. I think he's one of the top. He's top in plays at 20 yards or more.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think you just do what they've been doing all year, and you put Revis on Smith, and then you blanket or on Steve Smith, and then you blanket Torrey Smith with
Patrick
Browner
Chung.
and your safety over
Patrick
the top Chung.
Yeah.
And then he just have Chung stay back there. Don't let him get behind you, and Browner can cover anything underneath, and you're fine. Yeah. You've got a pretty good linebacking core there with Mayo that I think can stop.
Mayo's out. It's
even still, Will Falk there can plug a lot of holes in the line that Forsett might try to get through. He's probably the best defensive tackle in the league.
Right.
I mean, we can't forget Belichick is a good defensive mind. He's good at coming up with stuff. So,
It's gonna be. He's never really had these defensive weapons on the outside to play with in the playoffs.
Right. And he is a good defensive coach, so I'm sure he'll come up with something.
Let's do this. Let's go ahead and take another quick break. No, you don't want to? I thought you said break.
Let's go to the next game.
Yeah, okay, so let's do the next game and then break. Okay, so tonight we've got the Super Bowl defending Super Bowl champions. That's the proper term, Super Bowl defending Super Bowl champions.
They're not a real animal, so it doesn't matter.
The Seattle Seahawks hosting the Carolina Panthers.
Oh, yeah, I want to talk about this. Yeah, because I can talk about fundamentals.
Go ahead. We'll start with you.
Thank you very much. I will. So, yeah, I'm thinking it's going to be a close game, but I'm going to give the nod to Seattle, because it is in Seattle. You got 12th man up there. I'm also going to nod because that's Beast Road. But I think it'll be quite tough because, Carolina does have that nice defense with Luke Kuechly.
Boston College.
Cam Newton, for as good as he is, he is dealing with injuries. He's nagging injuries. And like I said, he's a good quarterback because of his physical build, his physical stature, but he is not fundamentally sound. He's not.
Right.
His physical attributes just mask it. And the Carolina offense does not put up a lot of points against a good defense. And I think the Seattle defense is better than good, and got the Legion of Boom up there. But then, the Seattle offense is really clicking, where you do have a quarterback who is fundamentally sound, and because he does have something between the ears, he's very smart. He is able to put that little extra, razzle dazzle on it when he does need it. So, like I said, that's why I'm going to give the nod to Seattle.
Brent, what do you got, man?
I've got Seattle on this one. Actually, I thought it was going to be I know we all were disappointed with the Cardinals game, but I think that Seattle's going to have at least a two touchdown victory on this. For some reason, I don't feel like this is going to be as close as it needs to be, and I see Seattle pounding on Carolina. So even with that Carolina defense, and I know it's a good defense, but I just don't think this one's going to be as close as some people might think. So I got Seattle by about 14.
By 2 scores. You know what? I'll go with that. If you look back, and I'll get to you in a second here. And if you look back at the run that Seattle made last year, it all started with their defense. When their defense clicked and they were down to averaging only allowing like 6.5 points a game, like they pretty much are now, they're unstoppable. I mean, it's almost like the defensive coordinator's job was just too easy for him. He knew exactly what to pick on every play, and it worked probably 90% of the time. So I got Seattle, and I like the 2-score deficit. What do you got, Aaron?
Well, let's see. You got a bunch of hipsters mouthing off with a doobie hanging out of their mouth for Seattle versus a very unlikable Cam Newton, Derek Anderson, and domestic violence supporting Panthers team.
Wow.
So neither one of these teams I like, but I'm going to take Seattle because I just think the Panthers got lucky to get in the playoffs to begin with, and they also got lucky that they played a beat-up Cardinals team last week. So I think they're going to get blown out maybe by like 40 points. I don't even know if the Panthers will score a touchdown.
Wow.
I wouldn't be surprised if they got shut out. I think it's going to be I think that at first it's going to be a very close defensive game. But once the game opens up a little bit, which it will in the second half, Seattle will pull away by a couple touchdowns.
I think they might get a touchdown if they start resting guys. Because I could totally see Sherman coming out, Earl Thomas coming out. You might see, I don't even know who their backup is. Is it Tavares Jackson still? If they're up by that much. Because I don't think this is going to be close at all.
All right, then. Let's go ahead and take a break now. Right now? No. Yeah.
We can. We got 10 minutes.
Well, let's go ahead and take a break now, and we'll be back. We're gonna touch on the other 2 playoff games, and then the NCAA championship game.
Woohoo!
Let's talk about that. Be right back.
Would you like to own a thriving business and help employ local veterans? The Vetraplex Handyman Construction and Landscape business is the opportunity you've been waiting for. The Vetraplex is your gateway to an affordable startup business with 0% financing for qualifying owners. By owning a Vetraplex franchise, you will be hiring veterans, providing them both income and opportunity, while at the same time providing your customers a way to say, thank you for your service to our nation's veterans. For more information, visit vetraplex.org. Again, that's vetraplex.org or call 928-284-2022.
Breaker 19. How about that bandit? You got some ears on, son?
Have you ever wanted to be a truck driver? If so, pay attention. If not, pay attention anyway. Southwest Truck Driver Training offers everything you need to get started. You can get hired before you begin training. They've got GI Bill approved training facilities, day, night, or weekend programs to fit your busy schedule. If you have any questions, no sweat. They've got veteran supportive campuses with veterans on staff to serve you. And on top of that, they have lifetime job placement assistance. Put the pedal to the metal. Call Southwest Truck Driver Training today.
Everyone's going to need an attorney at some point in their life. I'm no different. Hey everyone, it's James from Vets On. Whether it was my last will and testament before deployment or my ongoing custody battle for my children during my divorce, I needed help, so I lawyered up. If you need help, I urge you to contact Capstrom Law Firm. Capstrom Law Firm in Springfield, Missouri services clients throughout the state in criminal law, personal injury, and family law. With over 13 years practicing law, Tom Capstrom understands both law and court procedures and how stressful they can be. Let Tom Capstrom Law Firm and his dedicated staff take the stress and worry out of a difficult situation by calling him today. We feel so strong about the work that Tom and his staff are doing that he'll be a monthly guest on the show. Tom is a veteran and a listener, for God's sake, so you know the guy is solid and will fight for you. Give Tom a call today by calling 417-864-0552 or email Tom at capstromlaw.com. And don't forget to tell him that Vets On sent you.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertising.
If you or someone you know is looking for a new job or career, you need to visit the pros. National Career Fairs at ncfairs.com. National Career Fairs hosts over 300 career fairs a year nationwide. The events are free and give you the perfect chance to meet some of the top employers in your area face-to-face. To find the nearest career fair to you, visit ncfairs.com. Again, that's ncfairs.com. What are you waiting for?
That's what I woke up to this morning, man. Well, first I listened to a little bit of Ted Nugent, and then it went right to that. So I got up, I got a little bit of energy, and then I went to that, and I was ready to go.
Was it Ted Nugent on a political rant or like cat scratch fever?
No, it was Stranglehold. This is the greatest song of all time. Next time, play that. Just threw that out of the chair. Right now, I'm keeping an eye on this Kentucky-Texas A&M game. It's in overtime. Kentucky's only up by 1 point with 2:19 remaining. So I'm keeping an eye on this thing, but foul on Tavario Miller, Texas A&M, with 2:19 left. So I don't know what that means because I can't see if they're at the free throw line or not. But 1 point lead from the number one team in the country. So I'll let you know as soon as we get those. Tomorrow's games. The early game is Peyton Manning and the Denver Broncos hosting Andrew Luck and the Indianapolis Colts. Ms. Veronica Harris, you still with us?
Yes, I'm here.
All right. Wake up. Who do you have for the Colts Broncos tomorrow?
Well, being as though it's in Denver, high. You know, that's the altitude, and unless you're
technically
there
they're no
all the
longer
time,
in Mile High.
It's
Oh,
Sports
is that
Authority
local?
Field at Mile High.
Yeah.
It's like the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim.
Okay. So
Yeah.
you're picking.
I'm picking Denver.
All right. Brent, who you got?
Denver. And I think Peyton knows this is his last time. This is going to be his last walk around the block. I don't think he'll be come back next year. So he's going to get. And again, as you mentioned, it's not father versus son type thing. It was the teacher versus student type thing, and it's good. I think this is probably going to be one of the better games actually of the 4 that are going on. I think it's going to be one of the closer ones. But I'm not even going like on a home field advantage. I just think that if anything else, Peyton's got 3 football games left. So I think today he's going to be on top. He's going to be on point, and he'll get it done.
All right, Aaron.
I had the Broncos. I still think Peyton's going to win it and just hand the trophy. Here you go, horse teeth. Here's your trophy. I'm out. Peace. And they
Drop the mic.
Yeah.
Essential chocolate type stuff.
Yeah, and they've been handing it off a lot too. And I don't know if that was Peyton's hamstring or hip or whatever was bothering him. He couldn't plant and throw because his passes worked more the ducks than usual lately. But doing the whole handoff thing has worked well for them. I mean, C.J. Anderson was plowing through guys at the end of the year, and that's how they were winning. I want Luck to win. I just think the Colts they have a really great quarterback and an average team. I don't think there's a lot there to help him. So I'm going to take Denver, and I think that I don't know if they'll continue to hand off, though, or they'll come out throwing and then switch to handing off. But I think one way or another, there's going to be a lot more handoffs than you usually see for the Broncos and Peyton.
I'm taking Indianapolis. I'm going more towards the youth gone wild type thing. And I think that the student is about to become the teacher. And I think that's how Peyton's career is going to end, when you're replaced by the man that basically everybody said was going to be him in the future. So I think in the future that it's Andrew Luck's league, hands down. I don't see another quarterback that's been drafted in the last few years that'll still be around, even with Wilson. I think Wilson will end up getting hurt, and it's the pocket passers world. So it's Andrew Luck's. I think Andrew Luck is going to rewrite a lot of the record books.
Well, my fear with that is that they're going to do with him what they did with Peyton, which is
turn him into Hall of Famer. No,
you're a great quarterback. We don't need to get you any tools. We don't need to get you an all-star running back. Edgar and James, you can hit the road. Marshall Faulk, you can hit the road. We'll get you one receiver, but beyond that, you're on your own. Make these other guys better, which he does, and Peyton did. But at some point, he needs help. He's got to have some tools there with him. Trent Richardson obviously isn't the answer.
Yeah, we knew that from the beginning.
Notice how a lot of Alabama guys do not translate into the NFL.
It's because there's no feathered hair coaches.
I think their receiver is going to do just fine.
That Amari Cooper?
Yeah, Amari Cooper.
Well, their quarterback looked awful.
I don't even know Amari Cooper will be a stud in the NFL. He's a possession receiver. I think he'll do it just fine in the NFL.
I mean, trying to think of some of the last Alabama athletes.
Well, Lacey's done very well.
Lacey has. No, was it Ingram? Did he come out of Alabama?
He's done better lately.
Yeah, I was going to say he didn't do so well.
Lacey's been doing good now that he's healthy.
Yeah,
he's been doing good. So, yeah, but Richardson, no. Where the hell does Alabama keep finding these running backs from?
He's just built huge.
Yeah.
They'd come to my Canadian football team if I paid them.
I mean, they keep saying they keep sending all these people to the NFL, but
he's a threat. He is. He'll be an asset for the Packers for a while, especially as much as they pass the ball. So he'll be healthy for a while now, as long as he can. So speaking of the Packers,
yay!
The Dallas Cowboys.
Looking forward to that game.
Did we get your pick on that one, Aaron?
No, Veronica's.
Oh, Veronica picked first.
Oh.
This is a tough game to call because, it really could go either way because Dallas is like 8-0 away, and the Packers are 8-0 at home. So something got to give, some kind of way, somewhere. I'm kind of like, I don't know. I don't know.
That's not an answer.
I know it's not an answer.
I don't think I don't know is playing.
I don't think I don't know is playing.
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo, I choose Packers.
Why?
She just told you the eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
And it's cold.
All right. So you think the weather's going to play? Okay.
Yes.
All right. Brent.
Well, my Packers have to win for my pick to be
your Packers.
They're the team I picked at the very beginning of the season to win everything. So
okay.
So they have to win for my pick to come true. But you know what? There'd be no one better. I would love to see the Packers beat than the Cowboys. So I don't think the cold may be a factor. I think Romo's going to choke again. He's gotten pretty good at that. He's at least he's consistent. So Green Bay.
It's really not going to be that cold. It's going to be 22 degrees.
And the field's heated now.
And the field is heated. 22 degrees.
That means there should be at least 40% of the crowd in T-shirts. So
wait a minute. No, it is a late game.
Most people
in Wisconsin it's going to get as low as 3 degrees.
No, it's a 105 game.
Is it? Well, that's okay. All right. Yeah. So it's going to be about 20 degrees. That's not terribly bad.
Wind chill. Is there any wind chill factor? Wind chill.
No wind chill.
No wind chill?
No wind chill.
Yeah.
Packers.
Aaron.
How about them
Cowboys? Cowboys.
Outstanding.
I just think that offense is better. Rodgers got a gimpy calf, and I'm tired of hearing Rodgers. So I hope somebody knocks him down a peg. One whole peg.
You want that person to be Tony Romo.
I do. I'm not a Romo fan, but I'm not a Romo hater either.
Okay. All right. I, on No Limits Radio Show this morning before Jay's Nugget Sports, I selected the Packers. But I'm staying with the Packers. However,
I thought I was going to say on No Limits, I said the Packers. On this show, I'm going to say Cowboys, so you can't lose.
It's going to be a close. It's going to be a shootout. There's going to be a lot of scoring. Unless, like how I keep throwing those words in there.
It's not going to be a shootout.
I think it can be a shootout. Both teams have good weapons.
Not if Rodgers goes back to plant and his leg falls off. Matt Flynn's out there hucking it around.
Yeah, but I don't like any one of these teams' defense.
You don't think his
I'd pick Dallas's defense over Green Bay's defense, but I think it's Aaron Rodgers, man.
But you don't think his calf's going to tighten up in the cold?
No more than I think it's going to affect Peyton Manning. Even though I picked Peyton to lose.
Peyton they both got a week off.
Yeah.
But here's something that might persuade you. Dallas doesn't have a good pass defense.
Yeah, but neither does Green Bay.
Yeah, neither of these teams' defense is great. But I think the weather will be the defense.
They don't have neither of the defense is great, but Dallas doesn't have a good pass defense. So if Aaron
I think they're in the middle of the pack.
Huh?
I think they're in the middle of the pack. Hold on a second. Total passing defense is wow, Arizona's that low. Tampa Bay, Green Bay, Dallas. No, you're right. 26.
You can take Peterson for that. You still think he's the best corner in the league?
Peterson?
Or you want to change that to Sherman now?
No, I still don't think it's Sherman.
What I'm saying is that Rodgers
I think it's Revis.
Like, at least
I think it's Joe Hayden.
85% of himself. That makes.
Yeah, no. Now the best corner in the league is Darrelle Revis.
Hayden,
hands down,
or Sherman.
Nah, it's Darrelle Revis.
He's old. He still gets burned deep.
With Revis?
Yeah.
One game, one time, and it was against the Packers. Hey, you only allowed one touchdown all season, man. That's it. One.
I'm surprised how fast.
And he's always matched up against the number one, not who comes to my side. He's matched up against the number one the entire game.
He's matched up against the number two most of the game.
Who? Revis? You're out of your damn mind.
No, that's how they play. They blanket.
No. Revis goes where number one is. He plays number one. It's the same defense that they had when they had Talib. And Talib was matched up against number one. So Revis plays the number 1.
All I know is Sherman don't talk mess about him no more.
I still do. Until the man says, I got this guy and I got him the entire game. You can't say that you're the best if you can't lock down the best. If you can lock down the tight end, fine. If you can lock down the number 2 and number 3 receiver, good for you. But until you say, you know what, this man's not scoring, I'm taking him the entire game, like the top corners do, like Hayden does, like Revis does, then no.
Yeah, no, all I'm saying is that Sherman don't talk much about him no more because Sherman knows.
Right? So that is that. National championship game.
Woo-hoo.
National championship game. Oregon.
I'm glad they have this. I'm so glad they got this.
Veronica, before we get into
here
it,
we go.
How many teams should be in the playoff?
You know what? I'm fine with 4 because
You're both nuts.
Did you hear that? Let me turn it up.
No, you're both wrong.
Just anybody that disagrees with you is wrong.
You're wrong.
I'm fine with 4 because, and I hope they don't get like the NCAA basketball because now they want to make 69 or 61. I'm like, stop adding. It was fine with 64. Now they want to put 65. Now they want to do more. Stop adding. You're watering down the product.
Thank
Keep
you.
it at 4.
I agree.
The way it is.
Stop watering down the product.
8. There's 5 power conferences. You've got to have all of them represented.
No, you don't.
Yeah. So,
Plus, you've got to have at least one independent, whether it's Notre Dame, BYU, Army, Navy, if they're eligible.
No, you don't. I don't want to see Army in it. I'm an Army fan. Army's going to get their ass kicked.
I think Harvard, Yale, the Ivy League should buy the 8th seed every year just to get kicked in.
No.
They could buy their way in. Wouldn't you want to see them get kicked in by Florida State?
No. I don't want to see that game. I think it's a waste of a TV spot. It's not fun. That's not fun for me, man. I mean, if you look at the rankings and how they ended up, or how they finish up for the season, I don't want to see Michigan State, Alabama. I know Alabama would have dominated them. I don't want to see Mississippi State and Oregon because I know Oregon would have dominated them. I don't want to see TCU and Florida State.
Let's not rehash this. Let's go into the game.
I'm saying, man. But then if you look at Ole Miss, who beat Mississippi State, why shouldn't they be in the conversation if you're doing 8 teams? And they were ranked 10th. And then if you look at Arizona, who is better than both of those teams schedule-wise, why shouldn't they be in there? That's what happens when you start adding teams. Then these teams that you know damn well shouldn't be in it will start arguing that they should be in it. If you keep it at 4,
that's why we play the game. So you gotta go out there, you gotta prove it, and if you win, you're in. If you don't, so what?
Right.
You had your chance. You lost.
This is a great system.
So I like it.
I like it. I like where it's at.
You're both nuts.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
Ohio State,
Ohio
State, Florida State, Oregon, Alabama, right for to be in it.
So now we can stop all this SEC power, SEC dominance. Say, oh, the SEC is great. No, the SEC is not.
SEC is not even in it.
Yeah, Alabama may be good, but the whole SEC is not.
All right, so Oregon, Ohio State. Brent, who you got?
As much as I want to see Oregon win, I think it's going to be the Buckeyes, and I hate Ohio State. So I think Ohio State's going to win.
So you think the number 4 team can beat out the number 2 team?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
As you know, for some reason, I just think like Ohio State's used to be in playing games like this. Maybe not the national. They're always they play in bigger games, and that's exactly what the Oregon symbol stands on their helmet for: 0 national championships. They're not getting it tomorrow.
Pac-12 hater. Hey, can't tell you went to school in the Pac-12. Aaron, who you got?
There's things that scare me about this game. Well, Ohio State shouldn't even be there. It should be TCU, right? Because there's only 4 teams.
Ohio State should be there because they were voted to be there.
Anyway, the Oregon is only allowed to practice 20 hours a week because their classes start next week. which is kind of unfair. Ohio State gets 40. And then the news broke last night about their wide receiver suspended for smoking weed. So they're down a couple players. But I still think Oregon will win because it's a system, not so much the players, which I agree with Brent. I don't like Ohio State either.
Yeah, he said Oregon.
I said Oregon too.
No, he said he
said it-
doesn't like Oregon.
No.
He's picking Ohio State.
No, I hate Ohio State.
Oh, okay.
Pac-12 on this side.
Okay. Veronica, who you got?
Wait a minute. Who lost the wide receiver? Who was smoking weed?
Oregon. End of the first
Football.
overtime, by the way. It's
I mean-
tied. They're going in double overtime.
In fairness, in Oregon, shouldn't it be allowed? I mean, it's legal. I mean, a bunch of hippies are up there.
No, you know what? Now, here we go. I got something to rebut that because on MSNBC, they had this show called Cannabis Nation, and they were talking to this guy who was saying how he smoked weed, but he got in trouble on his job, and he was like, well, I had no idea. He was like, well, I was smoking weed, and then it occurred to me, well, hey, I want to work. And, well, you know what? Just because it's legal to do, that doesn't mean you could do it as, you know, it may affect your job. That's like with alcohol. Yeah, it's legal to drink, but if you go to work
But you can't
drunk,
show up
that's gonna
drunk,
be a
right?
problem.
Yeah, but he's not driving a
problem.
forklift.
He might be.
No, but still, it don't matter. You know, you get
You
drunk
can't do that. Yeah. You got to have more common sense than that.
So he's the idiot. He's the idiot. He has no sympathy from me. It don't matter.
It's like
No,
our argument
he's a
on
fool.
baseball
He's a
last
fool.
week.
But anyway, I
Greenies.
got Ohio State.
You got Ohio State?
Yeah.
Ohio State just beat the number one team in the nation to prove that they're better than TCU.
They beat down.
They didn't just beat them, they beat them down to prove that they deserve to be the number 4 team and not TCU with their easy schedule. So, with that being said,
Smoking weed. I can't believe it.
let it go.
If I was his mother, I'd come up there and spank him so hard. Like, what the heck? You's a kid. Oh, come now. I mean, that's a real idiot. That's like me going to work drunk. You're a fool.
Wow.
She's very upset about it.
That's just asinine. That's just freaking asinine. I mean, that's a okay. So it's legal. So the
She
heck
said
what?
asinine. Use that in a sentence. Use that in a sentence.
It's technically not legal in Oregon, but they're a bunch of hippies.
It's not, I mean, that's just the oh. And what's even worse about it? You see, let me tell you something worse about marijuana. See, it's fat soluble. It's not water soluble, so it stays in your system a lot longer than like any other type of drug. So you get drug tested. You smoke it on a Monday or say like in January. It's gonna be in your system a lot longer than you may think it is. So I mean, they just stupid. That's an idiot.
I do think that they should legalize it since we're on the topic.
Even if you
I agree. There's a lot of tax money there.
that doesn't mean your job is going to accept it.
No, that's
what
it.
you don't understand.
I think that they should legalize it. I think there'd be a lot less crime and a lot less killing because of it. And they wouldn't have to strap it to the backs of immigrants that are trying to cross the border down here.
It
And people dying out here
that
doing
doesn't mean
it.
your job is, like I said, alcohol is legal, but you
That's
still
not what I'm
can't-
talking
I still
about.
can't show up to my work, have drank it.
Yeah, I agree with that. But still, I mean, they should put it in trucks and ship it just like they do alcohol. Put a big ass Budweiser sign on the truck and ship it without having to kill people to do it. That's what the government's not seeing. If you legalize that shit and tax the hell out of it, it becomes what it was before, one major cash crop. Before they started saying it was illegal.
And my dad, being an ex-police chief, actually says he's like the amount of money that any specific police department basically would save on not having to fight that.
Yeah, they got other things to do.
Yeah, no, right. And it was funny. I mean, I know you guys haven't met my dad, but we call him Big Jerry for a reason. He's your typical cop,
Smokes
mustache.
a lot of weed.
But no, but he even just mentioned he's like I would never have said this 10 years ago, but now he's like, yeah, they just need to legalize it. We can save all that money and put it somewhere else.
Yep.
You know,
go after the real drugs. You know what I'm saying?
Aren't there murders they could be doing?
It's just like on Half Baked, where he goes, "Hey everybody, I'm Thurgood, and I'm addicted to marijuana," and everybody
That ain't a
jumps on and
drug.
starts yelling at him.
that ain't no drug.
I seen him. Yeah. So my pick, by the way, before we got off topic, not like we ever do.
He's a fool.
You know you want to pick Ohio State because you know Tina's going to win.
I'm going to pick Oregon because I don't think Ohio State has ever played an up-pace offense like this. I mean, there's a reason why Marcus Mariota is the Heisman winner. Last year, the Heisman winner was Jameis Winston. Fast-paced offense. Went into big badass, SEC territory and took down Auburn. I'm taking this fast-paced offense against the ground and pound of Ohio State. I think that by halftime, Oregon will be up by 3 touchdowns.
Fun fact: both schools go by OSU.
Moving on.
Wow. There's also a reason why you sit there.
Kentucky now up by 3 with under a minute left of the second overtime. Yeah. They're still duking it out. Let's go ahead and take one final break. We'll be back with final thoughts for the weekend. We got a lot of stuff going on this weekend. Let's get your final thoughts. We'll get your final thoughts on that in a minute.
Everyone's going to need an attorney at some point in their life. I'm no different. Hey, everyone, it's James from Vets On. Whether it was my last will and testament before deployment or my ongoing custody battle for my children during my divorce, I needed help, so I lawyered up. If you need help, I urge you to contact Capstrom Law Firm. Capstrom Law Firm in Springfield, Missouri services clients throughout the state in criminal law, personal injury, and family law. With over 13 years practicing law, Tom Capstrom understands both law and court procedures and how stressful they can be. Let Tom Capstrom Law Firm and his dedicated staff take the stress and worry out of a difficult situation by calling him today. We feel so strong about the work that Tom and his staff are doing that he'll be a monthly guest on the show. Tom is a veteran and a listener, for God's sake, so you know the guy's solid and will fight for you. Give Tom a call today by calling 417-864-0552 or email Tom at capstromlaw.com. And don't forget to tell him that Vets On sent you.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertising.
Breaker 19. How about that bandit? You got some ears on, son?
Have you ever wanted to be a truck driver? If so, pay attention. If not, pay attention anyway. Southwest Truck Driver Training offers everything you need to get started. You can get hired before you begin training. They've got GI Bill approved training facilities, day, night, or weekend programs to fit your busy schedule. And if you have any questions, no sweat. They've got veteran supportive campuses with veterans on staff to serve you. And on top of that, they have lifetime job placement assistance. Put the pedal to the metal. Call Southwest Truck Driver Training today.
If you or someone you know is looking for a new job or career, you need to visit the pros. National Career Fairs at ncfairs.com. National Career Fairs hosts over 300 career fairs a year nationwide. The events are free and give you the perfect chance to meet some of the top employers in your area face-to-face. To find the nearest career fair to you, visit ncfairs.com. Again, that's ncfairs.com. What are you waiting for?
Would you like to own a thriving business and help employ local veterans? The Vetraplex Handyman Construction and Landscape business is the opportunity you've been waiting for. The Vetraplex is your gateway to an affordable startup business with 0% financing for qualifying owners. By owning a Vetraplex franchise, you will be hiring veterans, providing them both income and opportunity, while at the same time providing your customers a way to say, thank you for your service to our nation's veterans. For more information, visit vetraplex.org. Again, that's vetraplex.org or call 928-284-2022.
The rules. I don't wanna go to school. I just wanna break the rules. Boys and girls across the world, put it on our dancing shoes. Go into the disco
right, we're back. Final thoughts. JD's Rockin' Sports. Let's start with Ms. Veronica Harris, who's still on the line. You gonna let it go? Or you gonna give us your final thoughts on it?
No, I'm gonna let it go. No, I can let it go. Final thoughts on it's just been good with this sport. Looking forward to all the NFL playoff games. Looking forward to the first national championship in football, and continued conference play in college basketball.
All right. Cool. Aaron.
The one thing that we didn't talk about was the Brown situation and more coaching issues, because Kyle Shanahan dismissed. But the bigger thing is the NFL is investigating. He says there were text messages sent down from front office that calling in plays, which is totally inappropriate. But I just wanted to say that, and then of course football games. So,
all right, Brent, what do you got?
No, just looking forward to the football games. Is basically really all I got. Did you want me to do the
sports?
Go
ahead, knock them out.
Okay, well we only have 5, but real quick with what's going on January 10th, this day in history. So in 1950, Ben Hogan appeared for the first time in a golf tournament since he had a pretty horrific car crash, and that event he actually tied Sammy Snead in the Los Angeles Open. So the day he came back,
coming back from an injury, playing well. That's interesting.
Sorry, Sam Snead reminds me of the Snoop Dogg album.
Oh my God! Next.
In 1962, the NFL entered into the single network agreement with CBS for telecasting all regular season games for $4.65 million annually.
That was a lot of money back then.
I was just gonna say that. I'm like, that
it's not much now. I mean, I got that in my pocket. But,
those are incentives given to players. The next year, in 1963, the Chicago Cubs became the first baseball club to hire an athletic director.
Interesting.
Wow.
1990, the NCAA approved a random. Now, this is great that this came up.
Mm-hmm.
The NCAA approved a random drug testing program among college football players and harsh penalties for drug use.
Mm-hmm.
And then in 1990, and Aaron, we have a little hockey one for you. 1995.
Is that a fun fact?
It could be. 1995, depending on how fun you are. NHL owners rejected the players' unrestricted free agency proposal.
That's not fun.
1 year at 32, 5 years at 31, and countered with 3 years at 32 and 3 at 31. That's not a fun fact. That's hard to even read.
That's not fun, but it is a fact.
It is a fact.
So you're 1 for 2.
There you go.
God,
all right.
Man, that was almost hard to even get through reading that. I confused myself.
So, final thoughts on the weekend, Brent?
No.
No.
Looking forward for Ohio State to win and Oregon to remain without a national championship. But really, that's all I got going on here in baseball. Pitchers and catchers report in 40 days.
Very nice. Very, very nice. My final thoughts. I know I'm not the only person to do this, but if my team loses for the season, when they lose, I turn off my phone and I won't even go to Facebook. I won't even go on social media until like a week later.
Oh.
Because I got the type of quote unquote, air quote friends who will send me and just blast text to me and call me and say, "What happened?" Shut the. I'm already preparing for it. I'm already preparing for it. So now I don't even turn my phone on because I got those types of friends. Even if like the Patriots beat their team down by like 70, as soon as the Patriots lose, I get those texts from those fans. You know what I'm saying? Which is against man law. It is, because if your team can't beat my team, you really can't say shit when my team loses. That's man law. I'm about to make it woman law. You don't stop. But that's what I don't talk trash like that. So I mean, I don't know why anybody else likes to do it to me. But I will say this though. Nobody hates a bad team. Nobody makes fun of Jacksonville fans for losing. Nobody makes fun of Tampa Bay fans for losing. But when the Patriots lose, everybody's on their fans.
I responded to you
Everybody.
on Twitter on that. I was like, I understand I'm a Dodgers fan. Everyone loves to hate the Dodgers.
Yep.
You can make fun of you if your team beat him. Or your
Yeah. If like, for example, when we lost to whoever we lost to, I forgot who we lost to this year. Their fans can still talk trash to me.
The Dolphins?
Yeah. Well, no, because we came back and beat them, which evened the score. So no, you can't.
Hey, I'm an equal opportunity. I make fun of everybody.
I'm deleting your number.
Anybody can get it as far as I'm concerned.
No,
But can I just say one more thing? I'd like to say congratulations to Craig Bizio, who is went to my school, Seton Hall, Go Pirates. Him being elected to the Baseball Hall of Fame. Even though he was there before I got there, we both had the same teacher, Coach Mike Shepard, who's a legend. So I was very happy to see him get in.
Outstanding. All right. Well, Veronica, thank you very much for joining us today. We'll hear from you next Saturday, and we might actually have an earlier show next Saturday. We might, because No Limits is not in the studio. So if you guys want to do it earlier and start our day a little faster, we can do that next week. So we'll keep you posted on everybody's listening. Thank you so much for listening. Go Patriots. And if it doesn't happen, I might not even show up Tuesday night. We'll see. We'll see what happens. So have a great weekend, everybody. Thank you for listening. We'll see you Tuesday night.
Peace out.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars